What we've got here is...
The I Just Saw podcast. I'm your host, Matt Brandon. Welcome to your favorite uncut, uncensored, spoiler-filled podcast. I just saw 47 Meters Down. And I have to cut out the two words, this movie, because I guess this couple had like 160 episodes of this podcast called We Just Saw a Movie, which is pretty close to what I thought was my original idea. You know, collective unconscious, I suppose, of I just saw this movie. So I guess, and it's gonna roll off my tongue. I swear to God, it might. I just saw this movie. Bill Burr voice. Then I just saw, I guess, 47 Meters Down. And you also probably will see, to help out the YouTube. Yeah, Bono's gonna come. The YouTube algorithm. That if I put spoiler movie review in parentheses, that maybe more people will see it. They Google it and look it up on YouTube or Google. They'll be like, oh yeah, I can look at this. Rather than just saying, I just saw this movie, blah, blah, blah. Putting the title or more of a, what the hell's in the, the podcast, and the title will be beneficial to my growth and for the audience to know what the fuck this podcast is. So let's get into it. So I just saw 47 Meters Down. It's actually pretty ironic because, you know, Jaws has this big tie-in to July 4th. If I had to pick one tie-in for July 4th, it's not Independence Day. It's Jaws. Anything not Independence Day. 47 Meters Down. I've heard some very differing opinions. I've had one friend hated it. I think I had one more friend say it sucked, and then I had at least one or two more friends say it was good. One friend, wait. Mr. Quint on Twitter, good old friend Katie, she does film written reviews. She said it sucked. So it was her, my friend Chris, my friend Dan said it was good, and then I think maybe one more friend said it was good. So I was like, fuck it, I gotta see this film. I did not know that, or I might have forgotten, that the guy who directed and wrote the film also did that, what the fuck's that movie called? The Other Side of the Door film. If you've seen me on Chris Stuckman's channel, I did a co-review with him. I think that was the first time I showed up on the channel. No, it wasn't. It was the first time I showed up in a reviewing it with somebody, with him. But I've done like cameos during skits and stuff. But The Other Side of the Door is fucking terrible. And so is this movie. Oh my fucking God. I had a really great July 4th. Back to the July 4th theme I have here. Went to the park, played some roller hockey. Did not include that in my Instagram story. My Instagram story, if you follow me, was just my family. It's my friend's family, but they kind of adopted me because you don't have to be blood to be family. And had a good time, ate some great food. They already did the cookout. I always joined for the cookout, but I went to the park and relaxed. And then went to the family get-together, watched some Django Unchained. What a great fucking film. Let me get a drink here. Cut Gatorade. Yeah, great time. And I was like, all right, I'll see 47 Meters Down. Why not? And for some reason, Regal, they charge what the fuck was it? $10.80. $10.80 down the pisser. $10.80. Today's Tuesday. Tuesday is usually discount day. That's the day. Tuesdays for me, this is my schedule. I do my work. I have soccer at about 6. I show up about 6:15, but it's supposed to be at 6. We start playing around 6:30 or so. And we end at about 8:30. All the movies we get to see, I usually just go with my friend Dan. who said, "Oh yeah, 47 Meters Down was pretty good." But I usually see films with him, and no one else wants to show up from the soccer group. But I had to check this film. I had to check this movie out, and oh man, I don't even know where to begin. I honestly don't. I'm so fucking fried from how terrible this film was. In Chris's review, he talked about how the setup was terrible, and it was. I'm not even gonna discuss that. It's very quick. If I could take away one positive from the film, even though the setup does suck, the movie moves along at a decent rate till we get in the cage. One well-directed scene is the kind of the tension you get, because we've seen the previews that they're going down, and the two girls are going down into the tank, and then it's kind of stretched out. That's well done. But oh my fucking god, everything else about this movie is so terrible. This guy, this writer director, Johannes Roberts. What the fuck does he look like? I gotta see, man. This guy has no photos of him. Wait a minute, there he is. This is for 47 Meters Down. He also co-wrote it with Ernest Rivera. Riera. I'm assuming that's his last name. Ernest has, looks like he made his own little short film in 2014 called Albert, because I see director and editor and writer, just assume, and producer. Outside of Albert, Ernest has written The Other Side of the Door and 47 Meters Down. This guy had one short film. Then he goes into The Other Side of the Door, which is distributed nationwide. 47 Meters Down as well. And then for Johannes Roberts, he did Other Side of the Door, 47 Meters Down, a short film called Turn Your Bloody Phone Off, Storage 24. You can imagine how bad that movie is. Just a bunch of like random films that you never heard of. Alice in 2002, Hellbreeder in 2004, Dark Hunters in 2004, Forest of the Damned 2005, 2 episodes of some TV show called When Evil Calls in 2006. A movie called, what the fuck was that? Stupid ass chair. Needs new casters. A movie called F in 2010. Roadkill TV movie in 2011, Storage 24 in 2012, Turn Your Bloody Phone Off short in 2000, like just a bunch of, like I can make these movies and just throw them on my IMDb. And then now he's filming The Strangers 2. Is this original Strangers, is that the film with Liv Tyler? That was a decent movie. Check this. Yeah, it was. That was a decent movie. After I left the theater and checked that this guy indeed was the same dude as the Other Side of the Door. I'm sorry, I don't really want to. I don't know if The Strangers 2 does get positive reviews. I'm talking like above 60 to 70% on Rotten Tomatoes. I know Rotten Tomatoes is. I went on a rant. Did I go on a rant last time about them? I don't remember. But the tomato meter right now for 47 Meters Down is 53%. That is way too fucking high. This movie was bad. And I don't want to see, even if if Strangers 2 is very high, one of my friends that I respect their opinions of says that Strangers 2 is going to be, or is good when it comes out next year, I guess. They're filming it right now. I don't want to watch any of this guy's movies anymore. Other Side of the Door, I gave like a 1 out of 10. Yes, I won't reveal my score for this movie, but it's almost the same one. Yeah, I don't want to see Strangers 2. I want to talk about the directing or the DP. I don't know whose fault it was for this, but I'm gonna say right now the DP is named Mark Silk. If you don't know what DP is, director of photography, cinematographer, same thing. This is Mark Silk's first movie as director of photography. He had a short film in 2013 called Feel Flows, and he's been doing assistant camera work or underwater camera work, it looks like, for a long time. He worked on like Captain Phillips. Do I recognize any of these other names? Soul Boy, Pirate Radio, Third Star, Stardust, Hallam Foe, The Fall, 3 Minute Wonder, Layer Cake. I know that movie. So Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Layer Cake. He did like the underwater camera shit. And then now he's DP. 47 years down. I don't know if it was him at fault. Maybe not. I'm assuming maybe Johannes. Johannes or Johannes was at fault for this film. Everything is just close-ups and extreme close-ups. The way that like Mandy Moore has her mask on, and then they have it like on her eyeball, but it's like not on her eyeball, and they rotate the camera to the left. They kind of like dolly left, and you still can't see shit. It's like very uninteresting frames. They're why did I not just watch Jaws? The whole movie. You got the two chicks, Lisa and Kate. I have the Wikipedia page open so I can talk about the plot. And like I said, with Chris, he already talked about the setup not being great, so it's not. The Lisa broke up with her boyfriend, and then Kate, the sister, is like, "Oh, let's go party." No establishing shot, no nothing. They're just already in the club, dancing the night away. And they're with dudes, and like all of a sudden we cut to them like doing this, like it had to have been like he saw Spring Breakers and was like, I think I have to do that. Had this like dance music, and then like dancing with each other on the beach, and the two Latin dudes are watching them or something. And then, you know, the next day or whatever, they kiss the dudes. Stupid shit. It's just boring. They finally get to the boat, and then we get to Matthew Modine's character, Captain Taylor, speaking Spanish. Like Matthew Modine's got to be like the whitest guy ever, and he did a good job. I can't believe actually he's in this movie. But he's the captain of the boat, and this boat's a piece of shit. One look at that shark tank, it's all rusted and like, oh my god. They didn't even really have to have it rusted. I can only see them having it rusted as a sign saying don't do this, because the tank had no negative effect. It was all the rope and like the little like gauge and shit at the top, the hooks and the line. That was the shit that was rusted and fucked up. The cage itself, like, yeah, the shark attacked and like the bars moved, but like if that would have been a regular ass cage, non-rusted, it would have moved anyway. So the rust didn't really play to any effect besides maybe scraping them up, or Mandy Moore's character up in this one scene. Besides that, there's like no reason to have it rusted up besides, oh my god, because it just makes the audience go, oh my god, why the fuck would you do that? There's so many decisions in this film that the characters make, and you're like, oh my god, why? Okay, oh my god, I'm really happy I just remembered this. Okay, well, man, they think they see a light, and then of course they fucking bang on the cage with a rock, rather than take one of the lights on the cage and like move it and point it, or do some kind of Morse code, like moving around so they see it. But of course the light isn't a person. The light is just a light. It's like left on the top of a rock. It was Javier's, I guess. And then Javier shows up and gets killed and eaten. Once again, he gets killed and eaten in a close-up, and you really can't tell what the fuck happens. Same with Kate. Kate gets killed. You assume, but the whole thing, I guess, is a twist that she survived, but then she didn't, and then we really don't get resolution on that stupid fucking shit. But how she gets killed is this close up and then like you don't see shit, like nothing. I was like, what the fuck happened? It went by too fast, and it was too tight of a frame. Amateur hour. And here's the thing too. If I understand Lisa is the more fleshed out character because she had the backstory of the boyfriend breaking up, and Kate's only fleshing out is having the scuba diving backstory. It makes absolutely zero sense to the story to have Lisa survive, not Kate. Because Kate was the one who wanted to do it. And if Lisa died and Kate was the one that survived, Kate would have had remorse for essentially killing her sister or leading her sister on to her death, because Lisa, Mandy Moore, the whole time was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I'm like, shit, I don't blame you. I don't want to do this either. But of course they do. It wouldn't be a movie if they didn't. Holy fuck. But back to the Javier thing. The light's on the fucking rock. Javier's nowhere in sight. So, like, why the fuck would he drop the light? And then it shows up. And then, just a bunch of jump scares of sharks. And here's the thing, like, at least in The Shallows, like, the shark had, like, the shark was, like, scarred, or the shark had, like, some kind of anti-human, like, nature towards it, because sharks in real life, I'm assuming you know, but if you don't, sharks think we're seals, and that's why we get attacked when we're surfers or something, because if you look underneath, a shark's perspective, point of view, we look like a seal. We have a long torso, which is the surfboard, and then we got our arms and legs dangling out the side, so we look like a seal, essentially. And so sharks, what they do is they'll attack you, but once they bite you and taste you, like, oh fuck, you ain't a seal, and then they leave. And that's what happens to shark attacks. You get those big ass, like, gaps and teeth marks and blood everywhere and shit. And even people even lose a leg or something. But that's it. They lose a leg. They're not eaten alive. Like, they're not eaten whole like in the movies. So that's why I guess The Shallows was pretty realistic. Also gave more character depth to Blake Lively's character. It was just overall better directed, better written, better everything. Really. The Shallows is an enjoyable film. This, not so much. If you really thought this was a good movie, but this guy, Johannes, is going to keep getting work because this movie had a budget of $5 million and it made so far $34.1 million. Honestly, though, $5 million for that movie, the CG wasn't bad. It was decent CG. It didn't look great. Like, The Shallows had some pretty good CG. It wasn't great, but it was pretty good. This movie's was, it was alright. Especially for $5 million. That's not bad for $5 million. Maybe that's why they had to have the close-ups. They couldn't do anything else. But, oh boy. Oh boy. I fucking hate, there's a twist in this film. I read Mr. Quint's review, and she said mild spoil. I was like, fuck it, I don't care, mild spoilers. And I was like, all right, there's a twist in this movie and blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, what's the twist? You know what, I had to message my friend. I was like, hey, is the twist the boyfriend was behind the whole thing and wants to like kill Lisa? Because that'd be fucking amazing. Amazing as in hilarious and like not that bad. But the twist in the film is Lisa, Mandy Moore, is like hallucinated like 10 minutes of the film. And this film is short as it is. This film is a total of 85. It's not even a full hour 30. But The hallucination was like she hears her sister. Oh, the sister's alive. Oh, and the sister gets fucking killed. I'm like, wow. Actually, the sister being killed besides being shot terribly, that was a pretty good risk take. Even though it was the wrong sister to get killed, it was a pretty good risk take, and I really appreciate it. Usually Hollywood films are just like, even though this isn't a Hollywood film, this is almost going to go straight to VOD, which it should have. It was a good risk, and I appreciated that the aspect of writing. It kind of turned, because like the film started off like bad, and it got worse and worse and worse. I was like, is this going to redeem itself sometime? I'm waiting for this twist that I've heard good things and bad things about. So I was hoping it was going to go the positive direction, and then the sister died. And I was like, ooh, good stuff. And then it went into this hallucination. So the hallucination was the sister that died was alive, and then Mandy Moore somehow gets the cage. Somehow her leg gets sandwiched through like the gap in the middle where you can see. Leg gets sandwiched underneath that gap from the cage and a rock, and her leg's stuck between the cage and the rock. It's like, how the fuck did that happen? And so she puts like a bag underneath and fills it up with air pressure and scrapes her leg. Of course, there's just like fucking blood everywhere. Everything they do, they make a loud noise to attract sharks. They have blood. Like, did you guys not watch Shark Week as children, or know any basics about sharks? How they use echolocation or whatever. But yeah, she gets her leg out, scrapes it, blood, and all that good shit, and then finds her sister somehow. They fend off sharks with flares. That's something that I did appreciate the writing of, because animals are scared of fire or light. Not so much like guns and stuff, but definitely fire and light they hate. And maybe sounds too. So I totally bought the flare thing. And then they went up, and then it goes to the surface, and then they find it, and then like Mandy Moore gets attacked twice by a shark. I was like, swear to God, I was like, oh yeah, she's gonna get killed. They're gonna kill the sibling that should be killed. And so she gets like attacked twice. It was like Deep Blue Sea style. Like the shark comes out of the water right at the edge, and like I thought it killed Mandy Moore, but didn't. And then yeah, they're rescued, but nope, it was all hallucination. It was all false. And the Coast Guard or some shit, they rescued Mandy Moore, and they bring her up to the surface, and then it's like all underneath, point of view shot. You're watching them swim upwards. You don't see the hot chick, Claire Holt, who kind of looks like in her mask a little bit of Ana de Armas, or maybe some Amy Adams, I was thinking. What else has Claire Holt done? She's from Australia. Good job. I didn't even know that. What else have you done, babe? Wow. You've done really nothing. You've done a couple TV. You did 3 movies, and you're filming 1 right now. Not bad. Not bad at all. I do want to add that I did like the camera bit when she dropped it, when she was in the cage. You know damn well when that dude said, okay, here's my camera for you to borrow, but if you drop it, you have to go get it. Yeah, like she's gonna swim to the bottom of the ocean without swim fins on to get your shitty camera. But what happens, of course, she drops it. But it wasn't expected that a shark, came out of the darkness and ate it. And that was well filmed. I thought it was just going to float to the bottom. So that's good writing, because it was catching me off guard. However, it is not realistic. Because a shark would have no interest in eating a camera just because it's floating downwards and it's an object. It's not meat. It's not a fish. So, at the same time, if it being original, it wasn't too realistic. I really can't say any positives besides those couple scenes being decently well directed, and the one risk of having his sister killed, even though it was, that was never really resolved. And so when that film ends, you're like, well, I guess what about the other sister? because there's no resolution. It kind of ends with like that Joe Carnahan type deal. That is how you pronounce his name, right? Joe Carnahan, is that? I guess I'll have to find out here. Joe Carnahan, yeah, that's it. That's his name. Yeah, Joe Carnahan. If you did not know, I was hip to him with that Detroit film. The fuck's that called? Narc. And after that, he's pretty much, for every film, ended the film with a cliffhanger, or he just ends it like, oh, what's gonna happen next? But a film like this, 47 Meters Down, a fucking shark movie, you don't. You have to have a resolution. You got to have that shark die, like in Jaws, and then Matt Hooper's alive, and they swim to shore, and then you just cut to the shore for the ending credits. I love this thing that marketing people have, like for the film. I think I've seen previews of this, like TV spots for 47 Meters Down. They say like the best shark movie since Jaws. I'm like, I heard that about The Shallows. And The Shallows wasn't. Honestly, the best shark movie since Jaws was Jaws 2. And I really like Deep Blue Sea. It's a guilty pleasure. I don't honestly feel too guilty about liking a film. But Deep Blue Sea is pretty good, pretty much because of LL Cool J. It's an enjoyable film to watch every couple years. But nothing can really touch the Jaws franchise. I mean, here's another thing. You're never gonna fucking outdo a shark movie, because the perfect one's already been made. Even if they remade it, there's no fucking way you can outdo it at all. You cannot outtop perfection. Like for, demonic possession films, you're never gonna outdo The Exorcist. For isolation, going crazy films, you're never gonna outdo The Shining. It's just, you can't fucking do that, And you're always gonna, that's the sad thing though, you're always gonna draw comparisons to those masterpieces, the originals. So it's kind of unfair at the same time. But who the fuck said 47 Meters Down? I need to find this out. Is the best movie since Jaws. Shark movie since Jaws. I swear to God, excuse me. The Shallows saved Mandy Moore's Shark Attack movie? Really? God damn it. God damn it, The Shallows. Yeah, so I guess 47 Meters Down is called In the Deep. You get it? Because, in the shit. Okay, I guess Vampire Diaries, that's what Claire Holt was in. I guess it leaked or something a year ago, or some shit. But, hold on. No, I just see others refer to as the best shark movie since Jaws. It was nominated for favorite thriller at the People's Choice Awards. Oh wait, this is The Shallows. Whew. Yeah, I remember people saying that same shit too. But favorite thriller, that's deserving. Not so much to 47. Wrapping up the podcast, I went and scrolled down to the IMDb user reviews right now. A guy named Mitchell 1986 from the Netherlands says 8 out of 10, solid, entertaining movie, keeps you entertained until, I don't know if entertain's the right word, until the very end, and ignore, all caps, the dive experts, please. I'm not a dive expert. So I just assumed that the lingo they were talking about was legit. I know if you go up too fast that you could fuck up, but I don't know if 47 meters is really that big of a depth that you would do that, because you can take your oxygen tank and like do some shit. I think just let it loose, just turn it on, and you kind of like hold to it, and then you can just fucking shoot up. You just hold on to it and shoot up. So that's why oh, we can't have him just do that. I actually have to yawn here. Oh, I'm so tired. Fuck this movie. This movie's already PG-13. There's a lot of blood. I thought it was rated R because like Mandy Moore says like fuck me or something. No, she can't. You can't say anything sexual. The rule is, because I researched this for writing films, because I worked on a screenplay for Jurassic Park 4 in 2011 or 2010, I forget. Just as a fan spec. And I was like, yeah, let's get this done. And then Spielberg announces the film at Comic-Con. I'm like, fuck. But I looked it up because I included like maybe one F word in that script. But the rules are you are allowed 3 F words. They cannot be sexual in nature. So if you say like fuck me, that can be kind of taken as sexual, or like a girl's like fuck me and you're like yeah, like these are the characters, not like the audience member. That cannot be used at all. So you're allowed up to 3, but then again it's also up to the MPAA if they think, you know, that's too many. But there's one, and I was like, this movie's rated R. I thought it was PG-13. And I was just, you know, this is quite a bit of blood. But it's rated PG-13. So you can take your kiddies to see it. Ironically, I just tweeted, what's his name? Bilge. I'm going to fuck up your name, dog. I think he writes for Variety. Where are you, my man? Damn, I gotta scroll a while on my Twitter. Bilge Ebry. Yeah, Village. He's the critic for them. Pretty good critic. Good writer. Good man. He said like some shit like tweeting about kids being in the theater, and I saw Covenant for the 4th time like last Saturday or 2 Saturdays ago, and some guy brought his like 8 and 10-year-olds. I'm like, I want to do that, but then Bilge is like, hashtag hero. I saw Alien the first time when I was 10. I was like, holy fuck, that would scare the shit out of me. I was scared as fuck when I saw it the first time I was like 16 or 17. How the fuck am I gonna show that to my 8-year-old? There's no fucking way. You can't show them The Exorcist. You can't wait till they're like fucking 18. Any other positives? Any other positives? No. 47 meters down. I'm just gonna give it a 1. It probably should get a 2. Nah, I don't know. Maybe a 2. But I'm gonna give it a 1 right now on IMDb. This film was terrible. Terrible. Oh my god. I wonder if there's gonna be like any deleted scenes or something. Can you imagine if they had like deleted footage of like them fleshing him out? Like there's like the I can't, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I'm glad I remember this. There's like this insert shot. I think they're like putting the first 2 guys down in the cage, or if it was the 2 girls, because the 2 guys go first and the 2 chicks go. But I forget who was going down, but I guess they needed to pass the time. They include this insert shot of like the guy that like is kind of a prick on the boat. Just include him with just spitting. Just spitting. It was like a whole 3 seconds or so. I'm like, why is this included? Who edited this movie? I need to find out the DP, the writer, but now I need to find out the editor. Martin Brinkler. What else have you done? Well, it looks like he's worked on a couple of this guy's films, I guess, because he worked on Storage 24, which I think is Witchajiggets movie. He did not work on the Witchajigget, the other side of the door. Just did Storage 24. 4.4 out of 10. No, right now I'm going to look at all this guy's director ratings. So 47 meters now is a 6.0 on IMDb. I'm assuming that's going to drop. So let's go Johannes' other films here. Look at all his I was going to say look at all his photography. Look at all his photography, his filmography. I'm going to open up all this shit except the TV show I don't give a fuck about. Other side of the door is at a 5.3. Turn off your bloody phone is a 4.9. Storage 24 is a 4.4. Roadkill is a 3.9. F is a 4.7. Forest of the Damned is a 2.9. Dark Hunters is a 2.7. Hellbreeder is a 2.3. Alice, surprisingly, He co-directed it. I don't wonder why. Is at a 7. And then Sanitarium is at, he co-directed also with the same guy. It's at 3.6. He had one film that's rated well. Oh my god. Maybe The Strangers 2 will be good. Who knows? But I ain't gonna see it. Somebody else can, and they can tell me if it's good or not. I think that'll wrap it up. I don't have anything else to say because it was a brain-numbing movie. I thought about like having Beavis and Butthead explain or kind of review the plot for this podcast. I think we're gonna do it. Hey, Beavis and Butthead, why don't you come on down? Hey. We just saw, what was that movie called, Beavis? I don't remember. It should have been called, These Two Hot Chicks. Mandy Moore, I haven't seen her since 2001. And this other blonde chick, really cute. Yeah, I want to do it, yeah. I guess her boyfriend broke up with her or something. Hey, baby. Why don't you come over here? And I meet some Mexican guys. And you know, they want to go shark diving. Yeah. Yeah, but fuck it. That wraps it up for today's podcast. I think this might be one of my longer, I don't know what my longest podcast review was, but welcome to the new I Just Saw a Podcast. It's the same shit. I'm just going to retitle all the old shits. But thanks very much for listening. Yeah, see you in the next one.
End of line.
Good luck and congratulations on choosing
C-Card Press.
Regret to have the American ambassador expelled after the incident. The U.S. State Department responded